Oh, witches are we, witches are we, witches are we on a Wednesday. Hello!
That's a new jingle for us. Fantastic.
Do you like it?
I do like it, yes.
Very fitting. Hello. Right, I need to put this in mode where I can actually see things. Where's the plus button? There we are.
Yeah.
I make you that size of a postage stamp so I can actually read things. There we go. Yay! So, what have we been up to? Well, we'll tell you in a minute, but we'll say some hellos first, shall we? Hello, hello, hello. Who have we got? We have got... Ooh, we've got lots of people in. Hello, we've got Tony. Hi, hope you're well. You need to turn that down. There we go. Thank you. So we've got Tony in. Hello. And we have got Redwing. Hello. Hope you're well this evening. And Wibblechick. Hi, Chris. Hope you're well. And Jen, all the way across from over the pond. Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody is well. And those people that haven't. And hello. So hopefully everyone that wants to say hello has said hello. And we've said hello to everybody and anyone that's watching back. Hello to you too. Oh dear. So have you? Oh, and big girls really do cry. Remind me the name, please.
Lainey.
I'm sorry, I always forget that. I will get it right one day. I'll try.
Oh God, yes.
I will try. So, my dear, how are you and what have you been up to?
Well, it's been a bit of a busy week, hasn't it? Really, we've had I had a friend's birthday, which was lovely. Bit of a face.
Did you do the wishy candle? Did you do a wishy candle?
A wishy candle? Actually, we didn't. Not on the location because we were out.
Call yourself a witch.
I know. Well, you know, candle magic is also on the up this week. But we also had, of course, Valentine's, which we like to sort of take some time and have a nice meal and just step back from the day-to-day goings on. I think that's its purpose more than anything else, is to actually remind you that sometimes you have to just put the brakes on.
You just have to stop stuff, don't you, and say, let's just take a day out, and it's nice. We'll come back to Valentine's, I think, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely. What else have you been up to?
Work. Sorry.
That's a given. Okay, so Valentine's. Let's talk about that because obviously love spells is one of the things that us witches get asked to do quite regularly, don't we? And what do we say? No.
Waggy finger time.
It is definitely waggy finger time. No. Definitely not. So my views on why not are because it changes someone else's free will, generally, depending on what it is that someone's asking to do. But generally speaking, it then kind of influences somebody else's free will. And as a conscientious witch, I don't think that that's anything that we should be poking about with. Shouldn't poke things like that with a blunt stick. It's not good. No. So yeah, and that's my view. Making somebody fall in love with you, making somebody comply to your wishes, all of that kind of stuff just absolutely goes against the grain. So it's a big fat no from me.
I can only echo that and say yes, absolutely. I think if something is meant to happen, then it will happen. I think trying to force the issue and it could backfire and go horribly wrong.
It could do. You could be stuck with someone who's an absolute
arse.
Pain in the bum. Yeah. Arse. Yeah, you could well do actually, and I'm sure that's happened on a multitude of occasions with some people. But yeah, and it is because if you think, oh, I really like this person, I'd love them to fall in love with me, and then they do, and then you're stuck with them for goodness only knows how long, and you can't get rid of them.
And they're not the person you thought they were, which is often the case.
You know, isn't it? You don't necessarily want it, and you don't necessarily want to show it off.
Indeed.
Yeah, exactly. If somebody did ask you, say somebody was single and didn't have a particular person in mind, I'll come to a particular person in a minute. What would you recommend for them to do? I know it's all a bit after the occasion now, but what would you recommend that somebody did? What spells would you recommend that they did, or would they put out to the universe? What would you say to that person?
I'd be looking at them. I'd be having conversations with them about how they feel about themselves. Do they like themselves? Is there past experience that is preventing them being open? Is their list of specific needs and wants too specific? It's that thing where people don't see opportunity when it's right in front of their face, because they're so focused on a very narrow idea of what they think is the perfect partner. And I think that's a bit of a dangerous path to go down, because you're only going to be disappointed. Life doesn't work that way. The universe doesn't work that way. So I would work with them on building their self-confidence, their openness, building friendships with people, and kind of being more open to saying yes to the universe. I think that's probably a good first place to go. And then maybe things just to sort of draw people into their life that will enhance their life, not necessarily romantically, but expanding their social circle, getting more friends in general, and taking the focus off there being one person who somehow is going to magically complete them. Because if you don't feel complete in yourself, you are not going to attract somebody who is also balanced and a good prospective partner. You're going to get somebody who's going to want to fill that void, and probably with all kinds of consequences where we can't even begin to go.
What about confidence? What do you think about that? Do you think that that's something that somebody, not being overconfident and cocky, I don't mean that, but sort of having confidence in the fact that they will find somebody, and so on, and sort of like, essentially trusting in the universe, if you like, and sort of asking the universe, I'm confident that there is a person out there, I'm a quirky bird, but there is somebody that, may well, who's also quirky and can tolerate my quirks, that kind of thing. So, you never know. There might just be somebody that could put up with me. Do you know what I mean?
Usually it's when you're not particularly looking. I mean, this is the thing. And somebody once said to me, and it's not a pleasant phrase, but it is absolutely true, that nothing stinks quite like desperation. And the problem is, if you get into that desperate mindset, it really sends up the wrong flags and the wrong beacons to the wrong people. And prevents you from actually being open to the rest of the universe, who are probably a better bet as far as at least friendship goes, and hopefully something more.
Exactly.
To take that sort of desperation out of it, and just to make your focus wider in terms of life in general, rather than it all being about the need to find this person, because it doesn't work.
Essentially, the way that I see it is that what you're doing is you're putting yourself out to the universe and sort of saying, you have an openness and a readiness to be, I'm available, kind of thing, but not in a desperate way, as you say. But
to say, I'd love to find somebody to share my life with.
Somebody, and
I don't need it, but
hey, universe, I'm looking, and if somebody happens to plop into my lap, or I'll bump into them, check out at the co-op, then why not?
I love it. Yeah, exactly.
Check out what's in their basket. Just saying.
Make sure they don't like Marmite if you
meals
don't like
for
Marmite.
one. Exactly. Meals for one and all that. And if you're a vegan, not someone that's got a dirty great steak, things like that.
Or cat food.
Cat
food, they're going to be all right.
Yeah, if you see somebody picking up lots and lots of cat food off the shelf, follow them around. That's what I'm
saying. But it is that general openness to possibility. Because there are many people out there, and if especially if you're a quirky bird, you want to meet. Your chances of come across somebody who is likely to be suitable are fewer. It has to be said, but you want the right person. You want the right combination of attributes where they will enhance your being rather than diminish it.
Exactly. Because if you're going to put out to the universe that you stipulate someone that's got pink hair and wears odd socks, and has got a certain number of, I don't know, knickers in their drawer, for example, then it's like you're kind of limiting things, but
you're being a bit
niche market, you see.
Too niche. You have to be a bit more of a generalist when it comes to being open to
exactly. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's just making yourself visible, and I think that's the thing, rather than saying I want to attract somebody by this means, and I want this person to find me. I'm here I am.
And confidence is an important part of it. Confidence in yourself and your ability to attract the right person, but also confidence is attractive.
It is.
It generally is, because it sends a message out there of someone who's accepting and friendly and approachable most of the time.
Yeah.
Clearly, there are times when you don't want to be, and that's fair enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
But if that's what you want to send out there, to make a conscious choice to do it, rather than just wondering what you've done wrong, which is where a lot of people will go. They go, "What's wrong with me?" That's usually what someone will say. I mean, certainly years.
What's wrong with me? Why can't I find somebody? Yeah.
Why is everyone else happy and not me? And well, your focus is in the wrong place. It's got nothing to do with anyone else.
Yeah.
You feel about you. You know, most people in that situation actually have either had some horrendous experiences, which is going to shut down their openness because of fear, or they just haven't got that belief in themselves that they deserve it or that they're good enough, and that, you know, there's a lot of psychology goes into it.
There is actually very much so,
massively.
But so if somebody is out there and they're, you know, sort of looking for you know, they are looking for somebody, whether it's romantically or, you know, just a new friend to, you know, share some experiences with, you know, just it's that whole thing of being, you know, being open to the fact that there is somebody out there that's going to be as interested in things as you are, and it kind of goes on from there, really. But it's that belief as much as anything, isn't it? That's not to say that if you're a bookworm, for example, that you don't go bursting through the doors of the library and go, "I'm here," because that's probably I have
quite an interesting effect.
Yes, I have arrived. Please form an orderly queue. Yes.
But it is that thing of, it's better to be on your own and know who you are and to accept yourself and love and care for yourself than it is to be with the wrong person. And so many people subconsciously fail to get that one.
Yeah, it's true. You know, and they sort of think that,
way
you know, another, you know, their other half, their partner, their, you know, whatever you want to call them, is the one that has the responsibility of making you happy. And it's not, because it comes from within, doesn't it, rather than from
it's not going to work. It's going to be an illusion. It's going to be a projection, and it's going to be psychologically a bit messed up if that's what's sustaining a relationship, is the expectation that one person will make the other one happy as their job.
So there's a comment here Tony's made, and I'm really sad you've written this, Tony. Tony said, "I don't stand a chance of finding anyone then." And no, I would dispute that very much, because I know through our mutual friend that you are a very, very kind and very gentle person, and there's lots of people that are out there looking for a kind and gentle person, and that in itself is a marvelous thing. So yes, you know, and I think that's worth noting. You know, you might sort of think, "Oh well, I can't cook, I can only make toast, or I can't play golf, or whatever." It doesn't matter what some of the things that you can't do. It's those fundamental things that are important, especially to somebody else that's, you know, maybe looking for somebody that needs somebody that's gentle and kind, you know, because they may have had issues with somebody that wasn't. And that's what
exactly. And I think as people get older, when they want a relationship, they want the companionship, they want someone that can be a soulmate, they want someone they can connect to, who's not going to hurt them, who isn't all out to try and, you know, run their lives for them, who actually is more of an equal partner in life. So actually, I think as a mature person, you probably stand more chance, because you've got that, you know, you've got a lifetime's experience, and if who you are, and I don't know you, Tony, but clearly those who do know you're gentle and kind. Those are two of the finest qualities you can ever have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Hans has got a really good point here. Confidence can come in many shapes and forms. Most people are confident in one or two or three areas of themselves. It might not be their, you know, their entire persona, but definitely, you know, have confidence in the fact that, yes, I can cook jacket potatoes really well. Good.
That's a style thing, because a bad jacket potato is horrid.
Bloody right. Telling me. None of your microwave crap, thank you very much.
It's focusing on what you can do. Once again, it's the kind of conversation I've had with a number of people.
I can't do that, but my God, I can do so and so.
It's what you can do, and who you fundamentally are, and what your values are, that are the things that you offer and that someone else will see and be drawn to, I think. And, you know, there's nothing wrong in being a bit modest. I think everyone admires that. You know, someone who's overconfident and over, you know, usually that's a compensation for weakness.
Yeah.
and sends the alarm flags off.
Yeah,
But you
people will
also
sort of
do have
smile
to
and, you know, look away and roll the old eyes, don't they? So,
but you do have to be able to think it's okay. I can try and talk to this person, and you may not be the most confident person in the world. It doesn't matter because you will come through.
Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting thing though, and it's what I find so interesting at this time of year, particularly, or last week particularly, is that so many people come out with, oh, I need this and I need this, and therefore, and it's like, no, it's not. It's not about that, and it certainly isn't about trying to persuade somebody else to do something either against their will or against their thought process or whatever. It's, you know, it really is about, you know, sort of doing stuff for yourself in order to attract. It's the, you know, it's that positive attraction thing, isn't it? Laws of attraction and all that.
Yeah, you know,
And it is, of course, you know, bending somebody else's will is a big fat no.
Yeah, that can only ever go wrong.
Yeah, exactly, and it's not a great thing.
Because it's kind of false pretenses, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and as you say,
kind
it's
of a universal lie, isn't it? If you're doing something like that, I mean, it may not be absolute, you know, sort of spells exactly, but even, you know, over pretending to be something you're not, you can't keep it up forever. It doesn't. It won't track. It won't work, and it will jar. It will be discordant. So
On a similar vein, oh hi Julie. On a similar vein, what's your opinion of glamours?
They can have their uses. They can be quite fun. The key, I think, with the whole glamour thing, or smoke and mirrors as I always call it, is it is a bit of fun.
I call it makeup.
Yeah, well, there is that. Makeup goes a long way, but a lot of it is a kind of a bit of a confidence thing. When you know, if you're a bit introverted, as some of us are, and you've got to go out to a party, you kind of put your glamour on, because that's part of dressing up and going and knowing you've got to talk to loads of people and having that on. I'm exhausted afterwards, admittedly. I can't do it for long. But it's still part of me. I'm not trying to be not me. I'm just trying to be a bit more of me, perhaps.
Yeah. And again, it's a confidence thing too, isn't it? You know, but again, it's not something, as you said, it's not something that you can keep up on a daily basis. So again, if you're kind of looking to, you know, sort of think, well, I'll sort of make my eyes shinier, or I'll make my hair more lustrous, or, you know, make me appear size slimmer, or whatever it is that, you know, your particular glamour might involve. It's not something that you can keep up. And if you are looking for anything long term, then you're kind of then shooting yourself in the foot, really, aren't you?
Yeah, if you're using a glamour to entice somebody with it, you know, then that also, it has problems.
Exactly.
If you're
because
just
not seeing the
using
real you.
it, yeah, exactly. No, I mean, that can be true with makeup. You know, see you without the makeup, oh my god! But
exactly, yeah. Where did that creator come from? Yeah, where's that polyfiller?
Yeah, but no, it's the intention with which it's done. I think if the intention is not to deceive somebody, you know, you just want to look as good as you can, and but when you party vibe for the evening out, it's just like putting a dress on for the evening. Something that rarely happens in my house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and obviously it's a long topic, isn't it? But
yes, and a lot of people don't realise that they do glamours. I mean, you and I know that we do, because people have sort of, you know, they notice, and I think we've just realised that we've always done it without really thinking about it.
Yeah. Although sometimes I do, you know, specifically do something for a certain reason.
Yeah.
But Hans has put a great comment here. I've always recommended that people write what they value out of personality. For example, kindness, understanding, someone's funny, compatibility, and the list can go on. So it brings those kind of people into your life. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, if you value, you know, being with somebody or spending time with somebody that's funny, for example, then you know, putting that out to the universe that you would like to spend or meet somebody that makes you laugh. Yeah, why not?
It's an important part of relationship, isn't it?
It is, definitely.
Lots of humour.
Yeah, and then they go on to say that it's not limited, not like messing with someone's free will. You're just putting it out to the universe for the kind of people that you want in your life. Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
It's kind of a like rather than a need.
It
There's
is.
a difference between saying, I'm open for this to happen to I need this to happen. There's a whole different energy behind it.
Yeah. Exactly. Give me a stand-up comedian now. No, exactly.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different, isn't it? But it's an interesting thought process, isn't it? And it's kind of turning it on its head as much as anything, rather than, I need somebody to fill this need, please provide somebody, or please provide this specific person to me. And then you might be surprised that someone ticks more boxes than you previously thought.
Yeah, and like you say, you may talk to somebody and think, actually, as you get to know them, even someone you've known for quite a while, could kind of suddenly seem to be quite a nice fit.
Exactly. They might have a passion for crochet or something like that. You just think, whoa, yeah.
Or fine wine.
Fine wine and crochet, but not necessarily at the same time.
Not necessarily the same person. That's quite an ask. We're getting niche again, you see.
Crochet and gin, possibly.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, what will be the chances though? Who knew?
Well, it can happen.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Oh dear. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Yes.
What about what magic have you been doing? Have you done any magic this week? I've got some magic to do today, actually, because it's the full moon.
Yes, I have some magic to do today because it's the full moon. We were looking at it last night and saying, oh, it's nearly full, and I just had to double check and make sure that it was tonight. So that's quite useful. I will also have some healing work to do, and I've got some practical work to do over the next few days.
Yeah.
Sort of helping somebody, and I always think, even if you're doing something practically, you're doing something on a magical level as well. It just doesn't involve a specific spell.
Yes.
It's more of an ongoing intention.
It's an ongoing saga, really.
And I don't know exactly what's going to be required until I know exactly what's going to be required. So, so magically, I think I will probably do some work for myself to up my energy levels because they've been very up and down.
Have they?
Yeah, but I think again it tends to go up and down with what the weather's doing, because it's either really grey and horrible or it's beautiful.
Yes.
And I do, by this stage of the year, I'm starting to get like, I really want some warmth and sunshine. I've had enough now.
Yeah.
I don't
suffer tedious after a bit, doesn't it? Yeah. Mud and grit, that's the thing that's getting on my nerves now. Mud and grit. Everywhere I look is mud and grit. And I think,
especially where you live, yes.
Yes, exactly. Mud, grit and daffodils is what we've got here.
Well, there's
the daffodils are nice. The mud and grit, not so much.
Yes, I want to do some gardening on the weekend. I want to do some more sort of outdoor magic. And I can do that now because the scaffolding's gone, and it might not rain, and I might be able to get out there and do some stuff. And they emptied my bin, so hey, I can actually start chopping some more bits down.
Yeah. Be careful of, I'll just put this out there, be careful of the stuff that's like leaf litter and stuff that's on the ground.
No, I don't.
Because obviously there's an awful lot of insects that are still overwintering, and I think it's about consistently 10 degrees, I think it is, isn't it, that they stay hidden in the leaf mulch and stuff. So
it's not really warm enough to be doing anything that's going to upset sort of environments. I'm talking more about sort of like branches that are overhanging, and they need to trim back hedges before the birds start nesting. Because I think they're going to start very soon because it's been warmer, and so I need to get that done, because I won't touch anything when they're out. So I need to do it.
It's just a sort of a point of just making a point for anyone that was thinking about doing the same. If you can, try and leave as much on the ground as you can, because there's so many insects that are just not ready to wake up yet.
Well, exactly, and
they need their blankie.
It's nice to leave a layer. I mean, I'm sort of a non-gardening person anyway. I like to leave as much natural as I can to a point. But it does protect the new growth underneath as well. And nature doesn't go scrubbing everything off and starting with a bare earth policy.
Yeah, it's not clean canvas again, is it? No, definitely not. But yeah, it's interesting though. Hang on a moment. We're missing some comments.
Yes, I'm just seeing a whole load come up.
What have we got here? So Jen says, something I saw which goes along with what Hans said is to imagine how you want to feel with the person. What a lovely idea. In the job rather than specific characteristics. How you want to feel opens it up to, but the person being the person. Yeah, if you want to feel happy and loved or safe and secure, or you know, in a state of heightened excitement, you know, those kind of things. Yeah, imagine that sensation, imagine that feeling. Yeah, definitely. So
Yes, yeah, well
definitely.
said. Yeah, yes, and
Yeah,
outdoors magic is the best chance. Yes.
definitely.
I like
Bit
getting out in the garden and connecting with it all again, and just
yeah,
having a good look at the trees and the bushes and making sure everything's happy and ready for the. I've got a camellia bush
yeah.
out in the front, and it's got these big fat buds on it, and it's just waiting, and they're
Just wait
lovely. But I've
first.
actually bought another one that I want to plant out the back because they love
Oh,
shade,
right.
and
Oh,
my
do
garden is
yeah,
surprisingly shady. So it's the
yeah.
right plant in the right place. There's
Hmm.
lots I can't grow because it just won't work. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to put things in that are going to be even happier there than they
yeah. You
were.
like the old shade-loving plants is what you need
I
there,
love my
isn't it?
ferns and
Yeah,
just some beautiful things that grow in shade. It's not a problem garden. It's a different way of gardening because you're trying to go with
yeah,
what the environment is rather than
yeah.
trying to go, oh, well, I want to
It's no
have.
good trying to buck against the system in a garden like that, is it? You just have to go, well, okay, well, you know, I have to go for this
Yep.
variety of plant, this, you know, type of shade-loving plants, for example, like ferns and things like that, rather
Yeah,
than
I
those
love
that
my
like full
garden.
bright sunshine. Yeah.
Mm.
And again, similarly, if you're going to have something that's going to be in the sun all day, there's no point in putting a shade-loving plant in it because it'll shrivel up like a
It'll
tomato.
crisp. Shrivel to a crisp. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Like my
You know,
cooking.
you're not trying to fight nature. You're trying to work with her. Um,
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah, most
exactly.
definitely. And I love all the ivy and stuff I've got because that is like hiding place for the insects and
Oh,
all
yeah,
the berries. The
definitely.
birds have all the berries, and so I
Yeah.
try not to. It's difficult to find a time of year when you can actually go and do something without upsetting something.
Yeah, exactly. Something it's like, you know, and I've got wild roses and stuff that grow on the outside front fence. I've got wild roses and dog roses and honeysuckle and stuff that grows there. And I never ever trim it with hedge trimmers or shears or I literally go out there with scissors and do bit at a time so I can see I'm not going to disturb things that are on it. And yeah, it takes ages, but I'm doing it how I want to. They call that sympathetic gardening.
Exactly. Yeah, I go and do a bit
But
here and
yeah,
a bit there, and
yeah, just nip a few bits off rather
mm,
than attack it with a hedge trimmer. It was funny today, actually. I looked out my front window and I've got the hedgerow in the front there, and there was this pigeon that looked like it had been stapled on the top. It was ever's that, and he wasn't moving.
still
He looked like
no
he'd been
bird.
stapled on. I'm not sure that's legal. But anyway, yeah, it looked like he'd been well and truly attached. And he wasn't moving for anybody because he'd found an incredibly nice bunch of berries and he was going to stay there until he'd consumed the lot.
There's some very fat wood pigeons about the place.
Yes.
Really cute. They can't get off the
Yeah.
ground. They've eaten so
No,
much.
no. And he definitely looked like he was on the verge of explosion.
We don't want an exploding pigeon. No.
It's an exploding pigeon, no. But yeah, no, he wasn't moving for man nor beast. Literally not for man nor beast. I had horse riders going past and all sorts of stuff. No, he
Nailed
was
to the
staying
post.
there, and that was that. Busy, thank you.
Goodness me. Yeah.
Oh dear, funny really. But yeah, he was either that or he just couldn't take off because he'd eaten too many. I'm not sure which, but
I
yeah, he
think that
definitely
may be a part of it. Yeah.
like he'd been
Yeah.
stapled.
But the birds have got very noisy all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Very noisy birds, really
yeah,
singing away. And it's not dark. It wasn't dark until about 5:30 today. I'm like, oh,
I
it's so
know it's lovely, and you can feel
exciting.
it turn and coming, can't you? It's lovely. I love it. Yeah, I was out the front door having a cigarette, whatever day it was, and it was, I don't know, 4:30 in the morning, something like that. Might have been 5, no, 4:30, I think.
Mm.
And it was like, oh, birds are awake. Hello, hello. It's a bit early. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Things are
You're
changing.
definitely on it.
Exactly. One of the comments that Jen's made about the full moon, it's worth going back to this, is that the full moon's kind of been and gone, and obviously it's now technically on the waning path. You know, and there's only ever one point, theoretically and technically, of course, there's only ever
Technically,
one
yeah.
point in time where it's absolutely a full moon, isn't it? But from a witchcraft point of view, I tend to use. There's some people that will use a day either side of the full moon and say, "Oh, well, it's near enough. It's near as damn it." I might use sort of that particular day and maybe a few hours either side, but not the entire day either side of a full moon. to say, oh, it's close enough, because for me it's not quite close enough.
And again, it depends what you're doing, doesn't it?
It
Sometimes
does.
the day before you really get that energy, but once it's slightly gone over, it just it depends, because obviously depending on the exact time when it is absolutely full, it can be a lot less full at night time, and you look at
exactly, yeah. It's like today, I think it was about 5 o'clock this afternoon, UK time, that it was at 4:59, I think it was, UK time.
Right tonight.
So tonight it's enough then for it to still be, in my book, full moon. It's the same day.
But I probably wouldn't do
but by
twilight.
tomorrow night, if it was sort of 10 or 11 o'clock tomorrow night, that then is what, 16, 18 hours after the actual full moon. That's too far away from me.
Yeah, I suppose it depends what you're doing and
16, 18,
and the
30 odd
considerations.
hours, sorry. Sort of 30 odd hours. It's that little bit too much for me.
And also, it's nice to be able to see it. This is the problem. It's like, oh, God, see it. I saw it a bit last night, just mistily, scudding through the clouds or crowds. Crossing it.
Mind you, of course, the problem is that obviously we've got the full moon today, and it's bringing in all sorts of dreadful weather with it. So we need to talk about weather magic. Heather, the weather.
Yes. Well, the wind seems to be the issue that we've got at the moment.
Don't be so personal. I can't help it.
Oops. There's certainly weather, isn't there? Good Lord.
For the record, we've got Storm Eunice coming.
There's one tonight, isn't there? And then there's one on Friday, which is going to be a lot worse.
It's Friday,
I think,
and they've predicted winds of over 100 miles an hour. Is it the worst storm in 30 years?
Well, gusts. There may be gusts of 90 to maybe even more in it. It depends. It depends which channel you watch or which newspaper is sensationalising it this week. But it is going to be a humdinger. And it will be noticeable. And obviously, it's on a weekend when, on a day when there are many things to be done. So
exactly. That will blow away your leaf litter and disturb the insects, won't it?
Don't say it again, my God. It might blow away the recycling, though, if we're not careful.
There is that. Yeah, might knock your hat off. It's a funny one, really, isn't it? But it's also a worry, especially where I am, because I know that they're predicting lots and lots of extra water, and the water levels here are already
and where you are is
worryingly high. And it's already worryingly high. All the all the drainage ditches around the fields around me are all kind of towards the top.
Oops.
What bothers me is that on Friday I'm going down to Glastonbury. I'm down to the Occult Conference down in Glastonbury. Can't wait. So I'm going off down there. Of course, it means then that if water does decide to come and see what my cats are up to. It's because obviously 2 years ago I got well and truly soaked by Storm Dennis, and that was not something I want to repeat. So it's a bit of a winter worry. So there will be some protection magic going on, most definitely, simply because I don't want to repeat performance of that. Much as the giant guy from the fire brigade was very pleasant, it's not necessarily something that I want to be repeating. So no. So no, you've got some comments that I've missed, I believe. Come on, not very good at keeping up with these, am I?
Hi, Cherry.
Where are we? We've got hang on, what we got here?
Well, Cherry's in, but it's morning where she is.
Oh, hi, Cherry. Hi, hope you're well. That's a long way over different ponds, that one, isn't it? All the way down in Australia. Hello, hope you're well. Full moon. Where are we? Okay, so Hans has suggested that I look up the power animal of pigeon and see whether it's come up lots of other times as well. So that's interesting. We're obviously seeing about synchronicity and stuff. And does 3 days of the full moon. Oh, that's interesting. Now, I don't do quite so long as that. It doesn't sit quite so well. But as you say, it does depend on circumstances.
Exactly.
And what you're wanting the full moon to do for you. That's an interesting thing too, isn't it? As I say, I'm doing some full moon magic later on today. Actually, it's not for me, it's for a friend. Got herself in a predicament on the weekend and needs there to be no repercussions. So yeah, that's for that one. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one to sort out there. Oh, Chris is talking about the early morning birds, and Blackbird here kicks off at 4:30 a.m. Well, I bet you revel in that. Followed by Robin at 4:45. Well, I suppose it saves on electricity, setting the old alarms. I've got a Robin who likes to be fed with birdseed, and he's got a particular call that he makes if he wants me to feed him, and he does that whole tail flick thing, and he goes beep 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 beep. It's really sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really sweet. Yeah, early birds. Yeah, not joking. Yeah, so the high tides as well. So yeah, it's tricky really. Hans doesn't want to be on her broomstick in that in this storm that's coming. No, I think that's probably
hold on to your hat.
Yeah, hold on to your hat and stay in the car. I think that's probably the the best thing. If you're going to be travelling, stick to the car, and staying off the broomstick, I think you might get blown off course. I think that's probably how it's going to end up. Yes, we don't want that. Definitely not. No. Yeah, so magic that I'm going to do today, as I say, it's for a friend that got in a predicament, but I haven't quite yet decided on the sort of magic that I particularly want to do, whether I want to go with fire magic or wind magic or use water or herbs, or I just haven't quite decided yet. And it's because it's a bit of a complex one. It's one of those that you're like, well, I could do that, but then this, or I could do this, but no that. So it's one of those that you've
got to chew over.
Yeah, I need to sort of chew over, and I've been chewing over it for the last 24 hours, and I haven't quite come up with my cunning plan.
Well, the element of wind is definitely at the fore, so it could be good to use that.
Exactly, utilise that.
And you have water,
blow the negativity away, and that kind of thing.
You have the water outside your house, as you said, which is quite high, so there's a lot of energy in there too.
That's true.
You may be able to combine the two.
Although where my friend lives, she's she's not going to be party to any of the the elements that I'll experience here. But again, obviously it's coming from me rather than from her. So yeah, it's utilising what you've got, isn't it? If you happen to have certain herbs in the cupboard and somebody else suggests something else, it's using a replacement for what works for you. So yeah, it's a funny one, really, isn't it? Yeah. So that's one for me to still be chewing over. I managed to get hold of my willow, by the way. Actually, that was the thing I meant to say to you. So do you remember we were talking about doing some magic with willow?
Yeah.
To weaving, and it was quite fortunate. We were out and about in the car and spotted this amazing willow tree, and it was like, oh, turn left, quick.
Okay.
The car park, trundle across the car park, sharpen my nails mentally, and just go and nip off the bits that I wanted. Get in the car quick, drive, and off we went.
Yeah, get away.
I'm sure there were people in the offices that it was like on the corner of a car park in offices. I'm sure there were people in the offices peering out the window going, okay, that's a bit weird. What's she doing? Oh, and she's in the car, and she's gone.
Who was that woman in black?
Yeah, who was that woman in black? Yeah, stealing bits of twig. Yeah. Does she want that for her new broom? No.
That reminds me of that lovely joke that seems to be doing all stuff that's doing the rounds on Facebook and the like, where if someone comes up to you, if you happen to be wearing black and someone comes up to you and goes, oh, whose funeral is it today? You go, well, I haven't quite decided yet. I'm going to use that. I have to use that.
I think my favourite one, actually, which is a similar sort of thing, which I sort of shared on social media a while back, and it was a similar sort of thing to that one. And it was if you find yourself in a lift with somebody, you're on your own in a lift and somebody else gets in, and they look at you and smile at you, just sort of like stand in the corner. If they look and smile at you or say hello, just go, can you see me?
freak them out.
Oh, I saw that and I'm like, oh, I've got to do that. I so want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Put my skeletal face on. Like that. Can you see?
Oh. Yeah, just priceless.
I know. Perfect.
Wow.
Oh, God. I'll tell you what, talking of the funeral thing, I remember a few years ago, actually, it's quite a few years ago. I've always, well, for years and years and years, I've worn black, have done for donkey's years. And met a friend for lunch who also always wore black. And we were waiting for the pub to open just before 12, like you do, and at lunchtime. And finally they opened the door and in we went. And I was like, okay. And it was one of these old pubs that's got open fireplaces. Actually, it's a 13th century pub in part. It's got fireplaces and low ceilings, all that kind of stuff. And, sort of like went up to the bar and we had a look at the menu because we were going to have some lunch. We'd had a look at the menu and we were just about to order. And the lady behind the bar, in very hushed tones, pointed her finger to the corner and said, "The sandwiches are over there." Are you not, can I not order off the menu? And she's like, "No, the sandwiches, it's all through there." Oh. And I'm thinking, I don't want sandwiches. I rather fancy the bangers and mash, actually, because there were sumptuous sausages, apparently. I was thinking, oh, that seems a bit off. And then, as the rest of the funeral party came in, I think she thought I was one of the first of the funeral party. I'm like, I'm not with them, but I'd still quite like bangers and mash, please. Poor woman, she was mortified.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's hilarious.
Oh, God, it really was. She was so embarrassed that, thinking that we were part of the funeral party. But as we weren't kind of in smart black clothes, they were just, well, normal scruffs, really. It was a bit like, awkward. So, yeah, a bit tricky. Poor woman, honestly. She didn't know where to put her face. I really felt sorry for her. Oh, God. Dreadful stuff.
Oh, Cherry's saying, please show some pussy willow. Such medicine I childhood in New Zealand.
Well, you'll have to bear with me a moment, and I'll go.
I know you've got a bit there somewhere.
Yeah, you might have to talk amongst yourself, Heather. Hang on a minute.
I'm sure we can amuse ourselves and behave.
Can you amuse yourself for a moment? Right, okay, hang on a minute. Let me just read these bits here. Chris says, I love high wind weather, yeah, but with responsibility. I don't want to put myself or others at risk. But standing on my balcony, lifting my arms to the sky and really feeling the energies, wow, I think that must be amazing. And I like that on holiday, when you get a storm when you're away in a, sort of in a foreign clime. Yeah, absolutely. You're on a balcony. Oh, yes, I'm with you on that one, Chris, definitely. Jen says, blow away any consequences. Yes, like that. Thank you very much. I will utilise that, I think. And as you've asked so nicely, Dawn, Cherry, Dawn, as you've asked so nicely, I will now go and find some. So bear with me a moment. Heather, do a jig.
Yeah, because it's not gonna grow in Queensland, is it? It's a bit too hot for it.
Actually,
I didn't realise you'd come from New Zealand, so that's somewhere I've always wanted to visit, to be honest.
I love New Zealand.
I want to go.
This is last year's Pussy Willow. Hang on a minute, I'm going to come and sit down. This is not this year's Pussy Willow. Ooh. This is last year's, which is dried. Hello. Sorry, that was my thumb. Dirty great thumb. Oh, and I've just had deja vu. Ah, that's interesting. Okay. Right, here we are.
Yeah, and it's still got the pussy, because normally they drop off, you see, all of those dry.
Yeah, that's because they're stuck on with cobwebs, look. See?
The glue of life.
The glue of life. Can you see these cobwebs? Look, can you see them?
I can there. I can see a bit of one
look,
there.
There's a big one there. See, I like cobwebs. People are like, oh, no, it's cobweb, it's spiders. It's like, no.
No, we don't mind.
I think they're pretty. So, yeah, look how pretty they are. So, yeah, this is from last year. Aren't they beautiful? And they're so really soft.
Like little kitten paws.
They are, little paws. Ooh. So yeah, actually, it's quite a big one. This one.
Good sprig. Yeah.
And so is this piece of cobweb. Yeah. So
Well,
yeah, so
they're
that's
actually
last year.
fine.
Dawn, Paul, would you like to see this year's one? You asked me very nicely. I'll go to the bathroom and go fidget it out.
Ah, you got one this year. Right.
Go on. Yeah, so I've got some this year. This is what I got from, as I say, this is from last year around the back of the house. And then this year.
Last year's and this year's.
Last year's this year. So this year it's just coming into bud.
Yeah, I haven't seen any yet myself. I quite like to have some around the house. I think it's the most lovely thing. Keep going, stroking it. Oh, that wasn't me. Your cottage is cobweb central. Well, there you go. You see, I don't mind cobwebs either, but Becky's really not very fond of spiders.
Actually, no.
No.
It's not got. Hang on, I'm just going to show you this way. Where are we? I don't know if you can see it. Ooh, there we go. So this one's not the same. This one's got buds rather than the catkins on it.
Yeah.
So they will come a bit later, I think.
Yeah, it's just a bit slow coming in.
It's a bit too early. So yeah, it's a bit too early for that. So yeah, but you've had the benefit of last year's. Little tiny paws on a stick.
Yeah, little grey cat.
Yeah, tiny paws on a stick. That's what that is.
I shall have to see if I can find some in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, hello. Oh, yeah. Do I want to restart my laptop? No.
Not right now, mate.
Not at the moment. No.
Especially if you want to, whatever it is, where they update themselves.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, how about now? How about no?
Yeah.
Yes. So you're cobweb central as well, are you? Ah, well, that seems to be.
Yeah, we've got a good few here as well.
Love them. I've been really brave. I used to be absolutely terrified of spiders, and even a hint of a spider would be, and then of course it would disappear and you'd be like, oh my God, where's it gone?
Yeah, that's worse when you don't know where it is.
I mean, whoever said out of sight, out of mind? Not when it comes to spiders. No, doesn't apply. No.
I don't mind them too much, but yeah,
I've got really used to them, and I've got a little spider that lives right above my head in bed.
Yeah, I saw her when I
saw her when you come to stay. Yeah, and she lives actually just behind that picture at the back of the bed. She lives just behind there, but she comes out just to see what's going on. And
she's quite small though.
But she's big enough.
Yeah.
She's big enough, and when you consider that actually I couldn't cope with anything even as small as an ant before that, it's quite a big step. And I've got a new spider that I discovered that's shown itself that I've not yet evicted, that lives above my lounge light.
Oh, there's a fine set of cobwebs up there, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Jen's going to go out and look for pussy willows, and that's a good reason to have a walk. Yes, it's a perfect reason for a walk.
Magnolias, yeah.
Good reason for a walk. I don't know. That blows away cobwebs too, doesn't it? Magnolias are blooming. I love magnolias.
Yeah,
they were my mum's favourite tree. She loved them. Magnolias. Yeah, they are lovely, aren't they? When they're in bloom, oh wow! Then you know spring's really sprung when you get to see them, don't you?
Yes, exactly. Especially if they don't get done by the frost. They're marvellous.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a favourite flower?
I like lots of them. That's the problem. I'm not sure I have an absolute favourite. I adore roses for the colour and the scent, but I like all sorts of things. I love ones that smell nice. I've got to admit, I do like a smelly flower.
Yeah, I
like freesia or lily of the valley. Or
see, that's where I'm at. So freesias are my favourite flowers specifically for that reason.
Yeah. The smell of those is incredible.
They're amazing, aren't they? So you get some nice roses, and sometimes you get some real beauties, don't you? But I don't know. There's always just for me, freesias just tip the balance, and I love them.
They have a different thing. I've got the roses I grow here. They're all scented. Because I chose them specifically for looking gorgeous and smelling gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they are amazing. Burying my nose in a rose is a good thing.
A nose in a rose. Yes, I like burying my nose in a rose too.
But yeah, so I do like smelly flowers. I like fragranced flowers more than ones that just look pretty and don't actually smell of anything.
Yeah. Julie. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh my God.
That's a blast from the past.
It's a big blast from the past. I hope you are really well. Oh my God. Hi. Oh, that's brilliant. Wow. Yeah, that's thrown me in a really good way. Hi.
Yeah.
Wow. There we go. Yeah, we're just talking about, well, pretty much everything really, including flowers. Flowers and wind. Yeah. Flowers and wind, like you do.
As you did.
Story of my life, really. Flowers and wind. Oh God. Yeah. I'll tell you something I do need to do, and Julia's reminded me. It was the last time I saw Julie. We went down to my woods and we had very, very interesting experiences. But yeah, so it's that time of year where I'm feeling in desperate need to get back to my woods and get things sorted out down there before before the sap starts rising too much, and sort of tidy things up and move things about a bit and all that kind of stuff. So that's something I'm looking forward to actually in the next few weeks as well. Get things on the move there. So yeah, that would be really nice. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, and Julie said was thinking about you too. She said, well, there you go, see, and then here you are. Here you are. Yeah. Where are we? So Chris says her daughter used to be terrified of spiders. There was one in her room once that they simply couldn't catch, so suggested naming it Mary. Maybe to make it less scary, maybe Mr. Leggy. Do you know, one of the things that I did that works? One of the things that I did was to imagine, I don't know who suggested it to me, and it helped, was to imagine that each one of its legs was in a bright red Wellington boot.
That was me, yeah, because I worked with people on spider phobias for years.
Yeah,
so making it more fun.
It helps, thank you. So yeah, bright red welly boots, and it helped. And also, there's you can find them on the internet. There's what's it called? It's a peacock spider.
Yeah, the one with
and they've got the little things, and they have like giving Christmas presents to other little jumpy spiders and all things like that, and playing the drum and things like that, and that really helps.
Very cute.
Yeah, because they are really, really sweet, and so that kind of thing helps a little bit too. So yeah, Chris gave up when she named it Bastard.
Oh yeah, I think you just step aside at that point, don't you?
Yes, exactly. It's okay.
Julie said, "What about the spiders in the treehouse?" I can imagine.
Yes, there are a fair few spiders in the treehouse. Yes, there are.
But they're big buggers as well. Then I bet you can see their eyes.
You can see what they had for lunch. Yeah, there are some real whoppers up there. That has to be said. You sort of like bang around and say, "I'm coming in, make way." Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop blocking the door.
Step aside and go, "Oh, not sure I want you in here. It's my domain." Actually, no, it's mine. But yeah.
Are you both sitting in a cupboard? Funnily enough, we're not. Although we've got the same furniture behind us. We are in separate places, but we both have
we're in separate cupboards. Julie. Yeah, definitely in separate cupboards.
We have a fondness for IKEA furniture behind us.
Exactly. Yeah, other brands are available.
Apparently so.
Oh dear. There's nothing wrong with sitting in a cupboard. It's not good to sit in a closet.
Oh no.
Especially not broom closets, no.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, cupboards good, closets not so much.
Yeah. I'm just
let's face it, good old HP, Harry Potter, brought up in a cupboard. Look what happened to him. See? Yeah. Lots of adventures once he was out of his cupboard.
Indeed.
Oh dear. So now we're talking nonsense. I suppose it's time we ought to shove off, really.
So bugger off and leave you to it.
Bugger off and stop irritating you and take time out of your day.
Oh dear, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll say cheerio to all of you. Thank you for watching today time. I think for one of your awkward waves, Heather.
Here we go.
Yep, there we go. And I'll fiddle about with these buttons over here. So we'll say cheerio. We'll see you next week. Have fun. Be good. And don't get too wet in the storm.
Yes. Stay safe.
Play safe. Cheerio.